Hi, I'm Dr. Tom Garlock, and I'm here today to talk to you about a service I provide that we just loosely call counseling for couples. What I've found is that many times the transactions that go on between couples is many times totally misunderstood because they don't understand what's going on with the other person. They don't talk. They don't ask for what they need, and why they don't is because they think if somebody's truly in love with them, they shouldn't have to. Whereas then on the other hand, some people don't ask at all, and others ask all of the time. And those that ask all the time and don't get what they need, I find that they're not asking the right questions. So many times when I look at a person's aura, and when I put the couple's auras together, I can see what the reactions are. Sometimes one person is more good with finances than the other. Sometimes some people are more intuitive and feel the needs of their spouse, where other people's needs to be asked. And I found that mostly happens with women. And men, they find that they need to be right all the time. Not just men, but I often find that in couples counseling is that when I see in their aura that the biggest problems is they don't realize it's not that they need to be right, they need to figure out what they want and then they get their own way. As an example, how things change. When we fall in love, many times we have a visual part of it, how our spouse or loved one looks. We have the auditory part, what they say and the tonality they say it in, and a audio part, how we hear what they say. And of those three things, in relationships, we find that each person may have a different driver. And so, an example, trying to understand and explain this. I had two patients that were with me as chiropractic patients when I was in practice here in Colorado, and they had moved down to Florida. Well, they had been married, I don't remember how many years, 30-some years or so, and everything was fine in the relationship. Then all of a sudden, they started having a lot of problems. Well, I had done some energy work with these people before, and so the husband called and asked if he could make an appointment. They wanted to fly back to Colorado and to have me look at them and see what was going on, because they still loved each other, but they just weren't getting along. Well, as we went into it, we found that when they first met, he was a cadet at the Naval Academy. And so when he had graduated from that, he became a naval pilot. When he retired from the military, he went to working for Delta Airlines. And he was a pilot then. And then when he retired from Delta, and they were living down in Florida, and everything should have been great. They had the house, they had the hobbies, they had the money. It should have been good, but it wasn't. It wasn't at all. So when they came up, and I watched this whole thing and watched their auras as they talked, what I saw is that she had a love for men in uniform because her father taught her about love, and her father was a police officer. So the biggest love in her life has always been somebody in uniform. Well, her husband was always the biggest love in her life until he quit wearing a uniform. That's just as simple and as silly as that. What saved their marriage is when I figured out that what would cause her to come to a level of peace and understanding about who he was in her life now was a very simple thing. He just had to put on a tuxedo and take her out once a month. Now, how silly is that? Not silly at all. It made him happy again. And I knew that they're watching energy. No other way, and nobody else ever did help him except that. So if you find that in a relationship between you and a child or any type of loved one, it doesn't matter, and you're to a point where you're just not sure what to do, well, many people have suffered needlessly for so long because they didn't fight the right thing. And I want you to know, if nothing else has helped, then I think it'd be a good idea to give me a call, because I'll tell you if I think I can help you or not. And I'll do that. Thank you.